From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We've seen lots of clouds around the area to our south. Those have been moving in where we had sunshine, and temperatures can't beat this. Temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s across mid-Michigan. Across the state, readings warm to the north as well, but there is cooler weather in our extended forecast, as you'll see coming up. Satellite and radar shows clouds now pushing north of the state line, and eventually those rain showers will move in as well. Tonight's forecast, scattered showers, temperatures much warmer tomorrow morning, bottoming out in the upper 50s. We've got some warm weather and some humidity to talk about as well. 6 News at 5:30 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5:30.
Right now at 5:30, a Michigan man learns his fate in the seemingly random killing of his neighbor. Plus, opening statements in the highly anticipated criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. And a bullfight goes awry, sending thousands of people running. Thanks for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepper. Let's start the clock on our first 6 minutes of news. And we begin tonight in Ottawa County, where a man will spend the rest of his life in prison with no chance at parole for shooting and killing a man in Holland. A judge sentenced Jarrell Lindsay today after a jury found him guilty of first-degree murder in April for the 2024 killing. Investigators say Lindsay walked up to 41-year-old Miguel Zamudio with a gun while the victim was visiting his family on their home's front lawn. As Zamudio was helping get his family inside, Lindsay shot him in the head. There was no known connection between the men. The Holland Sentinel reports that during the trial, Lindsay's girlfriend testified that he talked about committing suicide that day. In Oceana County, a man driving a pickup truck thought he hit a deer on Friday night, but he actually hit a man riding a bicycle, killing him. This happened around 9:45 p.m. on Highway M20 near Hesperia. The sheriff's office says deputies found the 57-year-old bike rider lying in a ditch, and he died at the scene. The 42-year-old pickup truck driver told deputies he thought he hit a deer and stopped to check, and then had someone call 911. Deputies say they do not believe drugs or alcohol are involved, and they are still investigating. Also up north, Grand Traverse County settled a lawsuit for $100,000 over an elected official holding a rifle during a public meeting held on Zoom. In 2021, Patricia McIntosh asked the county commission to make a statement rejecting anti-government extremists. This was less than a month after the January 6 riots at the U.S. Capitol. The lawsuit claims former Commissioner Ron Klaus held up a rifle. McIntosh says he was trying to silence her, violating her free speech. As part of the settlement last week, Klaus apologized. A fifth person has now died after an apartment building fire in Milwaukee on Mother's Day. The fire was reported around 8 o'clock Sunday morning on the 4-story building. Officials say some residents were forced to jump to escape the flames and smoke. Firefighters were able to rescue about 30 people. Several were injured, and tonight no word on what started that fire. That same morning, 2 people were killed in a house explosion in New Jersey. When first responders got to the house, it was already being devoured by flames. Officials say a man and a woman were killed in the blast. No other injuries were reported.
It just jolted you. It was a big, I've never experienced that before. It was a huge explosion.
Investigators say they do not think the explosion was an accident, but they are still looking into how it happened.
It's 2 George Lincoln 4626. Stop! Stop your car! Stop! Stop!
Excuse me, y'all.
Well, that was the moment a woman drove her car into a street festival in Maryland on Saturday. The 28-year-old woman told police she was on her way to work and that she needed to get through. An officer can be heard on body camera video telling her she can't drive through, but he would call her a taxi. And that's when she did this.
Please do not disturb this area.
I might have to.
Ma'am.
Well, she eventually stopped and police were able to arrest her. Nobody was hurt. Staying on the roads, lots of eggs. This tractor trailer spilled its cargo of eggs along an interstate in Colorado. It happened just after midnight this morning. The driver told police he swerved to avoid traffic that suddenly stopped, sending the eggs all over the road. The truck was the only vehicle involved in this crash. The trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs is officially underway. It started with opening statements in a New York courtroom today. He's accused of running a criminal enterprise since at least 2004 involving kidnapping, sex crimes, and more. In opening statements, Combs' attorneys said prosecutors are trying to turn sexual relations between consenting adults into their criminal case and urged jurors to approach it with an open mind. Combs pleaded not guilty to all charges. The trial is expected to last 8 weeks, and if convicted on all 5 charges against him, Combs faces at least 15 years in prison. Today at Dulles International Airport near Washington, D.C., the first group of white South Africans arrived as part of President Donald Trump's plan to resettle them here in the United States. The South Africans jumped ahead of thousands of others who had been undergoing years of vetting and processing when the White House abruptly shut down the overall U.S. refugee program and opened a fast-tracked refugee status to white South Africans. The Episcopal Church's Migration Service is refusing a directive from the federal government to help resettle this group. Church officials point to their long-standing commitment to racial justice and reconciliation. Well, staying with the president, the attorney who represented him during his 2024 criminal trial is now the acting librarian of Congress. The announcement was made by the Justice Department today. Todd Blanche replaces longtime librarian Carla Hayden, whom the White House fired last week amid criticism from some conservatives that she was advancing a, quote, woke agenda. She was nominated by Democratic President Barack Obama in 2015. Well, moving to Hawaii now, where the volcano Kilauea is now in its 21st sustained fountain of lava since this most recent eruption began in December. Take a look at this. The U.S. Geological Survey says this fountain on Sunday night reached 500 feet into the air. The volcano is the most active in the Hawaiian Islands and is one of the most active on Earth. A recent eruption, in geological terms, lasted from 1983 to 2018. And rounding out our first 6 minutes of news, 2 bulls escaped a bullfighting ring in central Bosnia and took off into the crowd. As people scrambled to get away from them on Sunday, the bulls were eventually recaught. Apparently, a door was left open during the fight. Now, bullfighting is a tradition among Bosnian cattle owners who mark the coming of summer with their bulls fighting in a competition. Bulls have their horns cut off, and a referee stops the fighting, David, as soon as it's obvious that one of the bulls is staying away from further battle. So there you go.
But no way I'm facing on a bull. No way.
I know. I even get nervous and that didn't look like a ring necessarily. It was just out, out on the flat grass. But like even in a ring setting where you're, watching from the stands, I'm like, ooh, just in case they, hop it.
You see those crazy videos. I think we should volunteer for going to check out Kilauea. That would be more fun.
Yeah, from far away, but absolutely.
Well, the weather forecast,
hot.
Bullish on my temperatures tomorrow. We're going into the 70s and 80s. We've got some humidity on the way and the chance for some strong storms later this week.
All right, your full forecast right